And we have Miss Chrystal here. Chrystal,
Hi.
what in the world are they thinking? Yeah, thoughts. I know we only have you for a few minutes, so you have the floor because I'm just like, what is going on?
Yeah. So it was actually kind of interesting timing because we already had a meeting scheduled with our attorney this morning, before any of this news came out. So they're already, she's already fully updated on what's the new development. And so yeah, I only have a couple of minutes. So like I hope everybody can hear me okay because I'm
Yeah,
sitting
we can hear you.
outside.
We can hear you.
I also can't see the screen because I'm wearing my glasses, which is weird.
That's okay. I just made
Um,
you a cute little thing on the screen. Wait, so have you talked to Bryan at all?
no,
No.
no,
Okay.
and we very much limit our communication since all of this has happened.
Yeah.
And that's the advice of our attorney on that. So we haven't talked to him. We haven't talked to Reckless Ben.
What do you
Um,
think about the fact that they are acting like that they are gonna like go after you
so
once again, trying to say that they're gonna be suing you?
like I want to be clear first that I don't begrudge Bryan for reaching a settlement.
Yeah.
This, I don't, I am glad that he has resolved this in what I hope is a way that makes him happy. I'll make that really clear. That being said, it's not the first time that they have threatened to sue me.
Yep.
And when their statement about, hey, look, we've resolved this, aren't we the good guys? You should trust us again,
Yep.
is full of demonstrable lies and falsehoods that speaks for itself. And
Mhm.
I am saving all of those. If they think people
Good.
aren't reading their Facebook comments or their Instagram comments and saving and archiving all of those.
I archived there's already, and it wasn't archived because normally when it is, it will tell me like this was last archived whenever. So I have
Yeah.
both the blog posts are archived.
Yeah. Every additional lie is just like more, it's more ammunition for us. It's more, they continue to do it was a private consignment agreement. BAM had no responsibility over it, no knowledge of it. This is all demonstrably false. So
Yeah, and
can't
because
ask for trust while still lying.
that's gonna come out in your lawsuit
Yeah.
anyways, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
and the fact that they keep trying to say, this was unauthorized, we had no knowledge of it.
Yeah.
It's like, are they insane?
Yeah.
They already know. We know that Matthew McNeff liked the post. We know that they told you not to put the word consignment on the post. They
Yeah.
control all of the social media, things like
Yeah.
that. And they also, the fact that they keep trying to, that I felt like they were trying to manipulate the wording, saying like he has agreed to provide all the evidence we need,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I think there is none. All of it could be none.
Everything that he could provide to them is stuff that I already have. Like what? He's going to provide the consignment agreement and the spreadsheet and our checks. Okay.
Yeah.
You make it, they have this way of twisting everything when it relates to me in a way that gives it the most sinister connotation.
I hope you take
And
them to the cleaners, girl.
it's not gonna, I'm already seeing, of course I'm seeing the posts, right? The Reddit posts, the Facebook, like the comments. I'm already reading through the comments and already seeing like an upswell of, whether it's bot or whether it's PR or whatever it is, of
Yeah.
these deflections. There's one very new comment that I've seen multiple times on Reddit thus far, and anybody that follows this knows that I spend a pretty significant time on the Reckless Ben subreddit. There's one particular comment that is saying, she's completely screwed because consignment was against the rules and she was told in the franchise agreement and specifically in their corporate training. That comment over and over and over and over again. And I would love corporate to be able to provide any evidence that they offered me the ability to attend that owner training. any evidence whatsoever that I was offered that opportunity or attended it, because I didn't and I wasn't. So
can you shut down this whole thing about consignment product, consignment
yeah,
services as if it's two different things?
yeah.
Like,
And even the way Ammon describes a consignment service is
makes no
he's
sense.
he's describing a product.
Yeah, he's like, if you go to like
Yeah,
a bakery to get cakes for birthday, like
yeah,
what is he even talking
yeah,
about? Rose Investigate
yeah,
says they defined the consignment a fifth weight a day.
yeah,
I didn't even realize that.
yeah.
And you have a few more comments. Oh, this was a super. Okay, this one says, "I'm happy for the Mansells. Now that they are out, the gloves can come off for the rest involved. Good luck to the remainders." That was from Jason. Thank you so much for the support. And then Rose says, "Yeah, they did it. They defined consignment a fifth weight a day." So I have two more questions. One is like, do you think that he cashed a check? Like, do you think made sure that the money cleared whatever they paid him out? Like, was it wired? Like, because I
I mean, if
wouldn't.
I was him, if I was in his position, that money is in my account and the paper is signed before I sign off on any kind of statement.
Me too.
That would be my position. What I would do personally. I can't say whether that's
Or
what he has
they put
done.
it in like the escrow account for the lawyer, I think is usually, and then the lawyer writes you the check. So the other thing is, and then my other thing is, they said something like, that he's releasing all his claims against his legal claims against them.
Yeah.
So are they acknowledging that he had legal claims against them, or was he like going to countersue? Do you know anything, or are you not allowed to say anything?
I mean,
It's
I
okay.
don't, I genuinely don't know anything about that. I do know he hadn't filed any claims, but I do know it's like, from my understanding, that it's pretty standard
Just to say
in
that, yeah.
in a settlement that he won't then further, eventually go on to file anything. I do think it's amusing, and I was talking to my attorney about it at our meeting this morning, that in the wording they use that he has then transferred all of that to him, so
Yeah.
that they have they have the ability now, for like competition to essentially to come after me, when like that he's transferred the claims to them. Like, they already took on the burden of that responsibility when they
Yeah.
seized the store. You can't take the assets without taking the liabilities, and they were fully aware of the consignment liability the night they took the store. So they're saying what was already legally the case. So
Yeah, exactly. And they've never gone after you. And again, it was one sentence in your filing that just said it all to me. It was like, they never once asked you for the
never,
Lego. They never said, "Hey, you have these Legos, bring them back," or you have
never,
money from selling them that
yeah,
you owe us. Never mention it because
never,
they knew. They knew.
yeah,
They knew that you didn't
yeah,
have them this whole time. They were just
yeah.
trying to threaten everyone and shut them up. So I hope he got paid in full. And then I hope that you're next. And I hope, and because I feel like they're gonna have to settle. Have you heard anything from their lawyers yet? They're probably really busy.
We haven't heard anything yet. Our filing went out on Friday. They have 21 business days to respond. We haven't heard anything yet. So
Oh wow. Oh wait. So 21. So do you know what day that is? Or I'm gonna mark my calendar because I can't
I
wait.
do actually. Ben marked it. We have it. I don't remember exactly when
It's
it is,
okay.
but yeah,
I'll find
21
out.
business days.
Well, I know that you could only be here a few minutes, so I just
Yeah,
appreciate you coming on just to share, because I was like, I gotta know, because this is just more for you. So I'm glad, because they keep
yeah,
throwing
yeah,
your name under the bus, and I
yeah,
really, we're all standing behind you
yeah,
for this. We're gonna archive everything too,
yeah.
and I cannot wait. And I know AFOL probably is gonna have a lot. You guys will have a lot to talk about too. I look forward to
Yeah.
that interview.
And
And
the interview with him and somebody else was like completely unrelated. Not unrelated, but scheduled well in advance of this. So I don't know how that's gonna then change that. But this has definitely changed my schedule today. Because like, I was planning on doing a YouTube live myself on my own channel, just to test out and see if I could do it,
oh yeah,
like
tell us
this
when.
morning before the recording with Total AFOL, and that didn't happen. So we'll see. I might, depending on how long the interview goes, I might try it afterwards, but we'll see.
Well, I
It
you
was a
know
lot to wake up to.
Yeah, I bet. And so I mean, I always thought that they were gonna have to settle with Bryan no matter what.
Yeah,
I do think that it really, now it even weakens even more their claims against you saying that like you were part of they never even sued you, so it
No.
still doesn't make sense, but they keep defending you. And then with Ben's case, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do now. It's just Ben and Victor, like
yeah.
That's crazy. And I mean, I'm so glad that Bryan's made whole, and I can't wait. He's gonna. Did you see he's gonna be on BJC Live? I think for
I
his
did
first.
see that. I did see that. That's interesting. I'm looking forward to that.
I think it'd be cool to see you two together at some point after
Yeah.
you both settle with them and get all your money.
And I've always said, like, I'm perfectly willing. You know, I don't begrudge Bryan any bit of this. I don't begrudge him for any part in the statement, for settling any of that. He was an unfortunate victim caught in the middle of what corporate did to me and to my Ben. And so I don't hold any of that again. I'm relieved that he can now walk away. And I hope at least that he feels that the settlement was like good enough. I hope he feels the settlement was fair.
Yes, me too. I agree. And I think it'll be good for him to hear that support from you, because I'm sure like I've been in a situation like this before where it's just like, why do we have to let them say this stupid thing? Like, but I get it. And here's from Steep Talk Podcast says, I hope Bryan and his family can finally take a breath of relief, especially for his dad's health. I know, me too. And then Kenny says that BAM forces Chrystal to become a badass YouTube content creator. So yeah.
Listen, that was never on my list of things I wanted to do with my life. This is not a position I wanted to, ask to find myself in, but we play the hands that we are dealt, and every time they try to push me more into a corner, every time they try to, the implied threats, it is adding more fuel.
And and now that his is done, people can still they can donate to your legal fund, which I'm going to put it in the chat right now.
Which we appreciate that, because if they file a countersuit, it's going to be a lot more legal fees.
I didn't understand that, because I saw some people in Les's channel saying they think that this means they're going to file a countersuit against you. I was like, when? Like, for what? Like, that would be so
who knows?
stupid.
Who knows?
Like, it's not like it's they're hemorrhaging money, it seems like, at this point, especially if they actually did make Bryan Mansell whole.
Yeah.
But and also,
I don't know.
Your shirts and your stickers and everything. I found a way to do one link that goes to all of your tattle stuff. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, that is also in the description.
Thank you.
Can't wait to get her shirt. Rose, thanks for the super chat. Says, as the BAM map says, the letter is now part of the record it objects to. Oh, I remember when they said that for the takedown notice. So now this is part of the record it objects to.
Yeah, which I find amusing.
Wow. This is only good for you. I'm so glad. And I'm going to have to go through and, pull out, because we do have your franchise agreement where it says they can do consignment. And so I'm going to pull that out with the statement, maybe like clip it together just to blast it out there, that because I'm so tired of them saying the stupid lie.
They keep repeating that. And that's why we have those Slack communications in our discovery requests, because even outside of Kai and Brandon, put yourself in Kai and Brandon's position that night at the store in that clip. If you are taking over a business under hostile circumstances like that, and the person you're taking the business from says, I have consignment, there are consignment debts that are still owed, and you don't know anything about it, how would you respond in that situation? That's we knew nothing about this. Really? Then why isn't Kai on the phone saying, wait, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Why was he there taking all the stickers off? Why do other employees say the stickers were taken off? How did they pull out the agreement that you had that was not signed, because they accessed your documents, we know that, but they didn't go and look at all the other ones? And why did they file a RICO lawsuit against the victim before their quote investigation was complete? There are so many questions here, and Like, but the way that they were, this obviously it seems like BAM was more, it was more a little one-sided to them, the statement, which I'm sure, I mean, they're the ones who are gonna have to be paying a lot, so whatever. I'm sure their stupid lawyers were like, we want all this stuff put in, but just the way
Wow.
they worded it, I understand releasing claims on both sides and not filing. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But the way they worded it really made it seem like Bryan like was maybe it was like, had threatened to sue them or there was going to be a countersuit or something. It just felt like that. And the way, because they're
I
so
think
bad at
that's
wording.
like I think that's kind of standard though. I think
Yeah, maybe.
that's essentially saying like you agree that this is settled between us. You
Yeah.
won't then decide at some point to file a claim. It's kind of like in the
No, I
in
get
a
that.
criminal case it would be like the double jeopardy thing. You can't do it twice.
Yes. No, I get that. But just the way that there's so many ways they could have worded that. And just the way they worded it, in my opinion, was just seemed very strange. I don't know, but that was just me. But it made me so mad that they were throwing you under the bus, and I'm glad that you're taking it like a champ, and you're just like, whatever.
I want to be clear. I want to be clear again because I'm reading the comments. I don't want anybody, at least on my behalf, I don't want anybody on my behalf to read this statement and this settlement as Bryan throwing me under the bus. Like, I want to be really, really clear about that. I'm seeing some comments already, and I want to be really clear. Please don't. I love all of you, and I love how supportive you've been and how so many of you are on my side and willing to defend me. But please, I don't want Bryan getting any hate directed at him on my behalf of people, perceiving this as him throwing me under the bus.
I don't think anyone, and and we saw from the beginning, like, everyone saw it. We all saw it. Of all the things going on that night when this happened, that was the thing you were focused on. And he knows that, you know that. And this whole time, I think, everyone, yes, thank you for clarifying that. And this is important. Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't throw Chrystal under the bus. And this was the one part I just put on the screen really quick. Just like, it's just the wording. I get it. But usually when you do have a settlement, you do both sides release claims. But it was just weird the way they say it. Like they're releasing all their legal claims against BAM, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just weird that the way this was like something they wanted to put out there. They could have just said that they settled with the victim. They made him whole. And they want to move on. But instead, they decided to do a whole Q&A trying to once again redefine what consignment means between the product and service, and then keep throwing you under the bus every time. And I was just like, I hope every one of those sentences is more, dollar signs added on to what you get to ask for from them, because they're so stupid. They can't take accountability or responsibility to save their life.
And I hope some of you, I hope some readers have noticed how very, very careful they are when they talk about the previous owners and the previous operators, and the language in that not clarifying whether they're talking about me specifically or they're talking about Josh and Brandon, because we both fall under the previous owners and operators. And so that's an interesting distinction in the way that they have chosen that language.
It is, but this part right here, it says like BAM, Baker Salem, Josh Johnson, and Brandon Best were not parties to it. The Mansells also rose in part from the sale, accounting, storage, and disposition of inventory by the former operator of the store. So yeah, it is weird.
Yeah.
The whole thing of that is weird.
Yeah. But also the fact that I want to point out, I'm gonna have to message Total AFOL and let him know I'm gonna be a few minutes late. But the fact that they specifically word that as the Mansell's loss arose in part from the sale. I did not sell the store. There was no sale.
Well,
there was no sales agreement.
It says as part of the sale, accounting, storage, and of the inventory, though.
Yeah, the sale, accounting, storage, and disposition of inventory by the former operator of the store. Yeah. And so that language itself is very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. That whole thing is weird. And there was one more line in here too that was so strange. It said something like this part. This one right here where it said, oh, sorry, I'm not showing it. Hold on. It says, were there any financial settlements or compensation as part of the resolution? It said BAM compensated the Mansells for losses associated with their consignment arrangement that was outside BAM's standard policies, this part, and was not authorized or disclosed
Yeah.
by BAM, but because but maybe this was just a grammatical error, I think, because it's not because disclosed by BAM. Why would they disclose? I mean,
Yeah.
whatever. This one
Yeah.
doesn't seem like they had the A team, the A legal team here. It seems like maybe Philip.
Listen, ChatGPT right there on it tells you that it sometimes makes mistakes, and you should always
Yeah.
double check its work.
I mean, exactly. This is crazy. So, well, we appreciate you. Can you let him know we're all going to be tuning in whenever your interview goes live? And we got so much positive feedback about your interview here the other day. You coming on the
Yes.
show and
Thank you
answering
so
a lot of
much.
questions, and there was a lot of love. I hope you felt it, and we're going to keep supporting you. We're following this.
There was. I always feel it. I always feel the support, and today has been insane. Today's just going to keep being crazy, and I feel it, and it means absolutely everything to me.
Yeah, well, good. And we're gonna keep at it. And I put up one video. It's like if you don't want to watch the whole Q&A, I just put up another video that's like a 3-minute version of it. So as some of the cool parts. And so, anyways, well, thank you so much, Chrys. And we have your back. Don't worry.
Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me jump on real quick. I figured this was going to be a lot easier than trying to type out comments.
Thank you, Chrys. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, you
bye.
guys. How cool is that? Bye. So she literally has an interview with what is it? Is it Total AFOL? And so she came on to help clarify things for us because that was crazy. BAM never asked you for his Lego sets because they knew all along you never had them, and it's such a simple little thing. But there's no right. It's not like they, ever told Bryan, oh, we've been asking her for months to return them. We have saved the video footage of her taking nothing. They never once reached out to you. For these sets. So that just, kind of blows it all out of the water when they're like, oh, we think she stole them. Really, if you really thought that, why wouldn't you reach out to her and say something? They never did that.
This is how the justice system in the United States is designed to work. It's working the way it's designed to work.
Well, the internet's working the way it was designed to work. And so
that's what BAM wasn't counting on. But also, they don't provide the operations manual to every store owner. I never got it. I saw the operations manual the same time everybody else saw it when it was released.
Yes. And then they tried to hide it, which just confirmed for all of us that it was legit.
That had I seen the operations manual before I signed the franchise agreement, I would not have signed the franchise agreement. I would have never affiliated myself with a company that was actively training its franchisees on how to manipulate and take advantage of neurodivergent people and children.
It's disgusting.
It's revolting.
What's crazy is that it was so insane that at least there was a little tiny bit of doubt out there because it was so crazy. It's like, maybe this isn't really real. But then Matt McNeff had to go and file the takedown notice where he basically said it was copyrighted work. And it's like, so you're owning this now. So now we do know. Thanks for confirming how disgusting you guys really are. Did you ever meet Joshua Johnson or Brandon Best like before the takeover?
Not to my knowledge.
But you probably couldn't recognize Joshua Johnson with shoes. I agree. It's a very common practice to take off your shoes if you're being stalked and feeling like you're in danger. The last relic said, Josh is a pathetic person and it's impossible to forget meeting this douchebag. And that was the thing, is like he just was accusing everyone of like being on drugs. And I was like, the only one, in my opinion, that looks like they're on anything is Joshua. I'm like, what the hell? If he's not on something, I think he needs to get his brain scanned. I think they thought it was cheaper just to try to threaten you with, threaten you and Bryan and sue the victim for RICO. That can go down in history as one of the dumbest things any business has ever done, I think.
Threatening their franchisees to make them quietly go away and accept the termination letter and sign that NDA had worked for them in the past. I've spoken to those owners.
I've worked with animal adoptions for a very long time. I've never seen it where someone puts an LLC or a company name as the name of the responsible owner. It is always a person. It has to be a person, especially if they're banded, and he was banded, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you're the owner, and they stole the bird from you, in my opinion. Should not even take a lawsuit for them to just simply say, what shelter do you take the bird to? That's it. Just say. So, and the fact that they can't, and the fact that it even got that far, they should have just went to you.